Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers, thank you very much once again for joining us live on Mic'd Up. So we want to thank all of you and take this opportunity to share this one because this is backed by popular demand. Probably one of the most realist episodes that we had, bringing light to what's happening in our families' lives. Especially from throughout the subcontinent of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, etc. So we want to thank all of you for viewing. And like we always start with, we want to make sure that we are liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell icon for notifications on Mic'd Up 416 on YouTube. We're trying to build obviously the followers and the content. Full episodes obviously get posted on there. So if you're watching on Facebook, on the Sufi Council platform or the Makkah Islamic Center platform, please do like and subscribe on YouTube at Mic'd Up 416. So that'd be greatly appreciated. So we want to thank all of our viewers who have been, sending us our feedback and then continue to support the Mic'd Up content and obviously the podcast. So we want to thank all of you. May Allah bless all of you for the continuous love and support. This month of March is definitely has been an exciting one, but a lot of good things happening in the month of March. Slowly the restrictions are getting lifted in Toronto, and we want to thank especially our sponsor for the month of March, IG Wealth Management. You can follow them on Instagram at IG Wealth Management, but definitely want to give a shout out for someone specific from IG Wealth Management, brother Kamalhusain Rathod, who is the consultant with IG Wealth Management, who has sponsored the month of March. So a big shout out to them. May Allah bless their business. They're located 700-295 the Westmall, Etobicoke, Ontario. And the address is on your screen. And the office number 416-695-8600, extension 4206. To get in direct contact with brother Kamalhusain Rathod Sahab, their cell phone number is 647-289-8786. 647-289-8786, and their email, kamalhusain.rathod@ig.ca, kamalhusain.rathod@ig.ca. So once again, for all of your tax services and banking inquiries, investments, etc., please do reach out to Brother Kamalhusain, inshallah. So follow us on IG, Instagram at Mic'd Up 416. And all of that, we're here live from Makkah Islamic Center, 3234 Eglinton Avenue East in Scarborough, as we always are live from our own idara, and to help and donate to the cause, meccacenter.ca, where obviously because of the pandemic and slow restrictions in people coming to the masjid, etc. We have our renovation project, which is almost complete. So you can go on our IG, Makkah Islamic Center, and you can kind of see the progress that we've been doing. So meccacenter.ca, donate whatever you can to help the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that was I guess the small announcements and then the formalities are over with. So we're going to jump right into it. Family drama. So the first one was obviously a very interesting one, and it shed a lot of light onto what's been happening in our families. So the same panel came back again. We just thought it was right. And by popular demand, there was 2 episodes that unanimous decision to bring back, and this was one of them. And inshallah, the next one, not next week, but the week after, we'll bring back part 2 of another episode. So I want to bring back my panel, introduce the panel. To all of you. So on my right and directly in front of me also is Hafiz Bilal. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you, Hafiz Saab?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much for joining part 2 of this family drama. So appreciate you coming out and supporting as always. And directly in front of me, he's been missing. People have been asking about that. So he missed like two podcasts.
I went to Africa. I came back.
And
I went to UK.
And so back by popular demand, I guess the spark of the I don't know who's like taking more stripes, Hafiz Yahya or Janab Aamer Qadri sahab. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, Hafiz Bilal.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Shout out to Hafiz Salman from Sufi Council UK. And I'm very proud of that brother. And I want to give our thanks as well to the Sufi Council of Africa team that we have just originated and we have just propagated.
Gee. Big things are happening for the Sufi Council. So yes, definitely Hafiz Salman from UK, Blackburn, initiating great work for the Sufi Council of UK. And there's going to be more coming out for the Sufi Council of Africa. So stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Sufi Council. Follow Sufi Council of UK. And then soon, inshallah, Sufi Council of Africa will be on the social media platforms as well. So getting right into it. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems a little different today, but nonetheless, family drama. So the first one was very interesting, but there was a lot of things that were left out. We talked about Minder and all of that stuff, but this one we want to make it a little bit more serious. We'll try. These guys are smiling already. So the biggest thing is, I guess where I want to start off with is we're losing the sisters in Islam, sadly enough. And how we're losing them is in the sense of forceful marriages. And I think it's a very big topic. And you don't know, I want to marry this person. That person might be capable too, and meets the requirements and everything like that. And the parents are saying no because, this person's this caste and I don't like their parents and they don't make enough money or whatever the case may be. So I guess I want to start the conversation there because it's brewing up in the community, and I want to start there. And sisters are worried they're not getting rishtas or their parents are not listening to them or whatever the case may be. So I'll turn it over to you guys, and I say the first thing is about forceful marriages.
The sisters in our society right here, I honestly believe so. What I'm noticing are a bit confused. And why I'm saying that is because, listen, it's a hard time for them and it's a hard life for them living, especially in this part of the world. Forceful marriages because the parents want security for their daughters. Everyone wants that. Okay? No one wants, it's the biggest badnam, it's the biggest slap in the face, ma'azallah, astaghfirullah al-azim, when a sister is divorced, right? I mean, it's easier for a man to get remarried. It's easier for a man to start his new life. But for a woman, it's very hard. She has kids. Okay, let's say before the kids, though. But no one wants to marry a person who has been married already.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I'm talking about a woman's side. And I hope you understand what I meant by that.
Mm-hmm.
The man, once again, I told you it's easier. So now, the woman, they're trapped in this society because they're also out and about. They want someone who they want, but their parents are, once again, I'm telling you, security, and that's holding them back. That's what I think. And then that's where the forcefulness comes, right? The parents want them to get married right away. But now the sisters are rebelling, right? The sisters said, no, we don't want that. The girls say, no, we don't want that. Dad and mom are not understanding the situation. Culture is a problem we don't have. And it's easier sometimes. I'm telling you this on air. Sometimes it's easier to get married to someone in your own culture because everything will be easier. But it shouldn't be restricted. If someone is marrying someone outside of their culture, allow it too. But it's an educational thing. The parents are not educated enough to understand that. You understand? They're not understanding, okay, for example, we're Pakistani. Now, if you bring a Bangla rishta, they're going to start with the politics. Oh, look, our politics is not right with that country. What's the politics
guy? Pakistan.
Yeah, this and that.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Indian Hazrat. Oh, the partition thing is going to start again. Why? This stuff has been in our blood for a long time. And these are the reason why. This is the reason why us Muslims are not united too.
Right. Hafiz up.
I think also religion plays a big part into it, because when they do these, most common situations, you'll find that when a forceful marriage does happen, it's usually a relative of the parents, right? Close relative or close family friend or something like that. And religion's overlooked, right? They don't see, okay, sure, the person's got job, security, but are they the best fit for your daughter or for your son, right? And to avoid such things, or if you're in that situation where your parents are forcing a marriage on you, It's not an overnight process to like get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to speak to them. You have to build that. You know what? I can't. I don't want to marry this person because such and such reason.
Mm-hmm.
I have another prospect. Okay, but is that prospect good for you as well? Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of factors into play too. Right.
Right. I think especially on social media nowadays, you're seeing a lot of women leaving the house, sisters leaving the house because of, dad or mom is forcefully trying to marry this person off. And, where is that median? So if we were going to deliver a message, so I guess my first question is, does the Sharia allow our sisters to say yes and no to a rishta, or do they have to listen to their parents now?
No. Look, forcefulness in Islam, there's no compulsion.
Good.
Regards to anything. Everything else now that we're talking about is culture. We need to distinguish between the two.
Mm.
Look, when even a rishta does come, a woman has to say yes or no as well.
Mm.
It's not, okay, here, boom, you're getting married. No,
Yeah.
It's not like that. Listening to your parents is an amazing aspect in Islam that we have to do. But the parents here take advantage
Mm-hmm.
of that, and then they think they know more than what more than what the children may know. So it's 50-50, I believe so. But half of the times that we see here, sometimes, like if you look, our background is Pathan, we're Afghani,
Alhamdulillah.
right? So what does happen in Afghanistan sometimes? They don't even get to know what's happening. The women, right? They don't forget about the question, right? It's about, okay, you're having nikah tomorrow, Maulana's coming. Sometimes, not all, but sometimes.
Yeah.
There's like, here you go, done. Plus, here in this society now, when liberation is, a little bit more, the voice is heard more, the women have a bit more rights over here in our society. Now the woman gets to choose their partner. But here you go again. This is the conflict between culture versus Sharia now.
Right.
How do we keep a medium between this? The woman has to come forward and say to the parents what is going on in their life. And I've been telling you guys from day one, you need to be, as parents and as children, you need to be sitting down on a table. Whatever is concerning with you, you need to address it. If you like someone, we're human beings. We're going to like someone. We have feelings for each other. It is good to speak about that and say about that. But see, what happens is now they're not talking about it, right? And dinner table, they're just, making the rotis and all this stuff, and then they're hiding and they're sweating and they don't know what's going on. How am I going to tell dad and mom? Well, then it's too late now. Have that open conversation. Like, Dad, Mom, I do like someone. He is Muslim.
I want you to meet him.
I want arrangement to occur. So, ma'azallah, astaghfirullah, no guna will happen. Before any guna will occur. That's reason.
Yeah, you shouldn't be scared to talk to your parents as well, right? Because people, sometimes they get nervous, like, how do I approach my parents?
Right.
There shouldn't be that nervousness, right? And to speak on, the forceful marriages, like, why do our parents force it on us? Because, it's actually a cycle too. Because that's what they experience in their life, right?
Yeah.
And then their parents like that too.
Yeah.
Right? But then, to your point, right? Like, you're in a new society or a newer place. The time's also different, right? It shouldn't, those same traditions should start to change as well.
Yeah, I mean,
well, like, due respect, like, the parents should, the parents should understand too. The daughter's doing doctor degree here, okay, and you're bringing a brother that's looking like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, right, with his accent, the farmer, right? He's a farmer, right? Whoa, he's coming here. He doesn't know how to talk.
Hold on.
Okay, he doesn't know how to talk.
He doesn't shout out Hafiz Asif. Hafiz Asif is a big WWE fan. Yeah. He's so he's probably Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Guys, you need to Google Hacksaw Jim Duggan, WWE.
He's an wrestler. Old legend.
He's a legend. He's a
he's wearing his little chaddi, bro, and he's coming out with an axe, right? You're gonna match him to a girl that's doing a doctor's degree.
It's a very good point.
I'm giving you the extremes. I'm giving you the extremes.
But that happens.
Yeah,
There's a guy.
People are committing suicide because of that, man.
And I just
Some people like, I'd rather commit suicide than get married to Jim Duggan. Like, oh my God, man. Like,
no, but Surah Hujarat, verse number 13. O mankind, we have indeed created you from one man and one woman, and have made you into various nations and tribes so that you may know one another.
Of course.
To your point about getting to know other people, and it's allowed, right? So Allah is saying this. Indeed, the more honorable among you in the sight of Allah is the one who is more pious among you. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing and all-aware. And it's absolutely is, now we come down to the point is, the Prophet ﷺ married outside of their tribe as well, to show and as an example. Now I want to take it over because you mentioned a point. There was a girl, she did a social media thing in India, I think it was. And she made a video. She goes, I'm fed up. I'm going to kill myself. And her dad is begging to come home, come home. And it's all over social media, making a big buzz. I think that is obviously the extreme, right? But we're losing our sisters. So what is the message to the parents? How are we going to come to a median and say, guys, there needs to be something, because their culture, like you said, Hafiz, Bilal, the culture is changing. We're in a different century now.
No, the message is to the parents very clear. I'm a parent now. When I'm going to get my children married, I'm going to be really rational. I'm going to be really realistic about who they're going to get married to. They're living here in this country. Yes, I'm not going to be a hypocrite as well. My wife is from back home as well. Okay, so we got two of the best worlds. I will have that option to my child. Whatever he feels comfortable, I will ask them. Do you feel comfortable getting married back home, or do you feel comfortable marrying here? What do you feel? And that conversation should have to where your parents, it's okay, but I understand as a parent the concern, especially with the woman. Because it's security, as we said, like badnami, getting humiliated. Because your daughter got divorced, your daughter, something happened, because our people love to talk. We talk so much. And we love to bad talk each other so much. And that's what ruins our society. So the only advice I can give to the parents is before your children start hating on you, after your whole life, even though you got the forceful marriage, you got that going on, you did that, and peak of life goes on, but inside, maybe your daughter will be hating you for the rest of your life. And you don't want that.
Two things. One is that, okay, sure, you've given your daughter off in a forceful marriage, or you've arranged a marriage and they're married off. Doesn't mean you should stop checking up on them, right? To that issue of the suicide, or, you know, those extremes where the woman is not comfortable, is not supposed to be like living that forced life. Are you doing your part to make sure that your daughter is okay in the household that you left her in? Right?
Absolutely.
The second part is that before the time of the Prophet ﷺ, those days were known as the days of ignorance, Jahiliyyah. One of the main reasons is because they disrespected their woman.
Of course. Right?
They buried their daughters alive. Right? So you see this turning point is that we're coming in today's age, we're also losing respect for women. Right?
And I think I read it in, can't remember, is it Imam Ghazali or Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti. One of them, right? And they said that when it's coming time of the signs of Qiyamah, when you're coming closer to the Qiyamah, the olden ages are going to start to come back. And that's what's happening now. We treat our women like it's nothing. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned that the best of men are those who are best to their women folk.
Even in the sign of Qiyamah as well, up to that point, there's going to be more women to men.
Of course.
Well, right?
4 to 1. Right? And the problem now becomes is that we don't treat our women with respect. We think of them as nothing. Islam gave them rights, but our men, and I'm going to speak from, I can't speak for Hindustani, I'm going to speak for Pakistanis. When we go there, and it's like, make me roti, do this, make me chai, like all of this stuff. Like we talk in a demeanor to the women like they're nothing. And they are something. They're also a creation of Allah. We need to respect the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it needs to start with, the new generation and setting a tone. I know people who are Pakistani, they marry Arabs. I know Arab, because they're also thinking the exact same thing. But nonetheless, we get to the point now, and marriages happen now. But we're seeing all of these glamorous weddings. People are renting out Lambos and Ferraris and Dol Damaka and fireworks and all of these things. And, you know, you're renting out 600 people, 700 people. So I'm going to ask yourself, Aamer Qadri Saab, what does Sharia say about this? Glamorous weddings and, you know, $10,000 photographers and music videos and grand entrances, etc. Please.
Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the best wedding, the best nikah is the one with the least expensive. It's going to be the best. It has the best barakah in it.
Mashallah.
The least expensive, because you don't put boj, you don't put burden upon the woman or in the family or whatever, upon yourself about all this. The Sharia doesn't. The Sharia is not trying to clarify this very nicely. I don't want to give allowance to it. It's not saying that you can't do it, but the question is, why would you want to do it? Why do you want to spend so much money? And we spoke about this before in other episodes as well. You come, and I think Yahya said this too. You know, people are gonna come. They're gonna criticize on the food only. That's all they're gonna do. They're gonna walk out. They're gonna criticize. The man is wearing this. The woman's wearing this. Did you see him? Did you see her? Did you see this? And it's you know, I'm on the air. I can't even say anything bad, but it's like it's just Jugal Khana all day, like all there night. The Molana speaking there for 1 minute. When he's done his when he's done doing the nikah, bring out the drums, man, and it's over, right?
But then that's when the Bollywood dancing starts to happen.
It's haram. It's haram.
You know, to add on the Sharia point is that to say, like, why are you doing it? So what's your intention behind it too, right? If you're, because most common nowadays is you see these big weddings, and the only reason they're doing it is to show up one another, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, my brother's kid had this sort of wedding, let me one up him. All right, my sister's wedding was like this, let me one up them. Right? So the intention behind it goes bad. Nothing fruitful comes out of it after.
No, but here's the thing: you're in a nikah ceremony, which is a religious ceremony. It's completing half of your deen. Maulana Saab is saying, you know, do you accept to the women? They come to the man, do you accept? You write, sign, everything's done. It's funny, I've been to nikahs before, I stopped going. But all the sisters you see, first of all, there's no veil, so men and women are mingling. So they put their parda on, and as soon as Qabul happens,
back off.
Boom, it comes off, and then Dol the Macha starts.
No, that's what I said. Like, as soon as the Maulana's gone, it's like, is this a Muslim wedding, or is this like, are we in a club right now?
Right.
And this is bad, man. The lights go down, the people are dancing, the husband and wife are dancing, they're having a special dance. You know what I mean? Special dance for the groom and the bride. La hawla wa la quwwata, what are you doing? Special music, and then some Bollywood comes down. And the lights go down.
But this is the rasam of Christians, right? Because Christians do that. Yeah. The bride dances, has a dance with the groom, but also the groom with the father, and then the husband dances with the mother-in-law, and then the mother-in-law, and then the father-in-law dances with the bride. This rasme that we're doing are the same people that celebrate. They're Muslim and they celebrate Christmas.
No, it's very
this
bad.
is what's happening. We're trying to adapt the West. Keep it good. So you're not like, if you want to have a nice wedding, it's your kid. Yeah, like you want to do something nice. You don't need to do all of this.
It shows your personality of who you are and what you are.
Gee.
In my wedding, I had maximum 15 people in my wedding. And there was a close people only. It was back home. I forcefully said this to my in-laws. Only the closest ones that you have, of your family, my wife's closest cousins, their family, who you really like, not who you really forcefully want to call. It goes, that's it. And for me, it was only 5-6 people there, and that's it.
Yeah.
And my walima had just the Shariat rulings of approximately how many people there was, 10, 11 that we have to be fed, and that's it. And that's all that was done.
Right.
I didn't do anything, and I'm speaking on this is also a member for us. I'm telling you, I have not lied. I acted upon what I'm saying.
Right.
And I have the best wife, the best life, and there's so much barakah. I'm so happy.
Happy life.
Believe me, I have no problems. That's why I want the brothers and sisters to have that feeling of sukoon and peace and tranquility. Some people are struggling, man.
I guess if you do it in the right way, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings barakah in your life as well. But there has to be a mutual understanding amongst the families. So your point. And Hafiz, when I'm going to go towards you, and both you guys can jump in, is another thing that burdens family as well is the hakmer, or the dowry. And this is also something that is ridiculous. I think before the show we were talking about like $51,000 dowry and this and that, or you have to buy me an apartment.
That's why the girl passed away. She passed away because of the jahez, the one you're talking about in India. She died because I don't know. Someone can clarify that story, but I don't know.
Sorry, I'm not aware to that, but I want to speak to that. The first thing, let's get this right off the bat. The father doesn't make the claim for the dowry.
Yeah.
Right? The father can't set the amount for this is how much you have to pay for my daughter. Right?
You're selling your daughter, bro.
It's a daughter's hak to claim what she wants from the groom or the husband to be.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no set limit as to what she can ask.
It's insecurity. Right? That's all it is.
No, but what it coming down to, Hafiz, to your point, is you're selling your daughter.
Right.
You need to buy me a Rolls Royce.
Right.
You need to buy me an apartment building. I mean, not a building, a flat, like a condo. What is this?
Right. So some ask for like down payments on a house or something like that. And that's not going towards the daughter, it's going to the father. Right. And that's that sort of backwards mentality that we have.
Right. And I just don't. I mean, the Sharia is, we go back to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. The wife, Sayyidah Khadija radiallahu anha, asked for certain things, but the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said yes, no problem. But some people are just doing ridiculous amounts of things. But this now burdens that family. What if the family can't afford it? Do you get what I'm saying? And then that's a show. It's a show to that family. Oh, what? You can't give me this? Anyways, I'm going to draw the attention towards, and we can come back to that, is I was reading an article. There was a sister, and so there was families, I guess, they were talking. They both said yes and this and that. They were meeting, families were meeting and whatnot. And then what comes down to it is that the family of the bride said no last minute and said, you know what, they didn't like something or whatever, and they said no. What happened now is that obviously because of the meet and, you know, obviously, we're getting together and this and that, we're getting to know our families and whatnot, they said yes. And now they're saying no. So the guy was heartbroken too. So the father now is taking that daughter now of his to Pakistan. On the way to the airport, the groom to be, who was going to be the groom, follows them in a car and crashes into the car and stops them from going. But they both wanted to marry each other because of a misunderstanding between parents, not because of the man and the woman, is because the parents had an ikhtilaf. Now, you know who's getting trouble? Now, look what the guy did. He just rammed the car into the thing and stopped their flight. But how many times are you gonna write off your car?
Oh, man.
But the kids are being affected, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a mental health issue now. Because, you know what? Because the guy's going crazy, right? He's being anxiety and he's being stressed. He's like, listen, my wife, this girl that I want to get married to, he can't bear the fact that she's going to be married to someone else. Yeah. And this guy's being, you know, no, but mission impossible.
But after they agreed. So because of the ignorance.
This is culture.
But this is what's happening. We're losing our kids. Because of this, we're losing the awam because we're not even understanding our children. You're forcefully telling them, yo, I'm going to Pakistan, I don't care. You know, and then the guy just comes in, just rams a BMW into their car, and the car is write-offs. But this is what's happening, right? And what message are we sending? Because of our gharur and our takabbur, because we can't understand people, and we're not humanitarians, meaning we don't have a heart and akhlaq, you're going to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to show you up now. You think I can't get my daughter wed? I'm going to go get her wed tomorrow. So the guy comes with a Beamer and just, boom, right off. Hafiz up.
Yeah, but your intention there is to join families, right? 100%. That was the initial agreement or arrangement, right?
100%.
And then when parents are bickering or they're getting into misunderstandings like that, your intention or your purpose behind it is just false. There's no ikhlas.
Listen, there's always going to be problems. Like, there's always going to be some type of ikhtilafs before or after the marriage. I don't care which family you come from, bro. Like, everyone has it, okay? No matter what it is, it's in my household, it could be in your household. It doesn't matter. So get ready for that. But for them to divorce and, I mean, sorry, not to have the marriage happen, it's bad. You know, that's what's going to happen. The guy...
No, it speaks to the character of the parents too, right?
He turned into the Incredible Hulk, man. Like, he just says, going crazy. No, it's bad, man. It's bad.
So the suicide girl's father had to pay rupees 1.5 lakh.
Yeah, it's jahiz.
Yeah, in dowry to her husband on January 26, 2020. And if I'm not
I would
mistaken,
have slapped his face. I don't know why. I was that poor sister.
Why
man,
is
that
the husband
poor
claiming
sister,
dowry?
man.
but that's what I'm saying.
Right?
There's-
That's
No, but that's the rasam though, Bilal. In India, that you
I
know
understand
what?
that,
In
but-
our Punjab in India, in Pakistan,
I know it's common there. I know it's
bro.
common. But
You know what they asked for? They asked for refrigerators, cars,
beds.
homes.
I understand it's
that's-
common
This
there.
is
But
not even. This is in our family. Mazallah, astaghfirullah. This I've seen, man. Bro, they have stoves, refrigerators, cars. Has been giving for jahiz, and it's normal. It's like, so what do you want for jahiz? And it's normal. And I'm looking at them when this was approached to me because it's a cultural issue for jahiz. I said, no, I can't do jahiz. It's haram. And they were astonished at what I've said. I said, yeah, it's haram. Yeah, but you can still accept it. Don't worry, we'll give you. I'm like, no, I don't want it. If I take $1 from there, 1 rupee from there, it's haram for me. And they have never seen anything like this. I'm like, but this is the sunnah though.
no,
never seen anything
just for
like
the
that.
listeners, what Aamer is saying is correct. It's that for the woman to claim the dowry, yes, it makes sense. That's her shari'i haq. But for the man to take something from the woman, that's haram.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's normal. That's what I'm trying
Right?
to show you.
I know
Yeah.
it's normal, but just for the people listening, is that if you're in a potential relationship or a marriage that your husband is asking the lady for money, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah,
Right?
100%.
You can't mix, like you were saying earlier, is
but-
that you can't mix a religious ceremony with cultural rasam.
That's
right?
why the girls back home
Right.
are not getting married. That's why our good girls back home are getting forced, and these fathers are committing suicides as well.
Of course.
And this is what's happening. Like, this is bad. Like, we need to go back. I think, Bilal, you said this in the beginning. We need to get rehabilitated back into Islam.
Yes.
We need to get education
Yes.
101. So we need, when this situation comes up, wallahi, he should have went to the mufti. And so what
It's a
does
huge
this
red
say?
flag,
You know,
right?
what is
Yeah.
this? What's going on over here? I'm getting forced to buy. The poor people, no one listens to the muftis and Maulanas back home anyways, right?
Yeah. So the other thing comes out is so they get into marriage because it was whatever forceful, and now what happens is that they end up not getting along because the sister was never happy with the guy. And
Who's gonna get happy with Jim Duggan? Like, he's gonna watch. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's gonna come out, and then he doesn't know how to sit on the sofa. He doesn't know how to talk. Imagine this guy is you're getting introduced to her friends though, or something, or to her family, or someone who are close cousins or whatever, right? And he doesn't know. Like, his pants are up to his chest. Like, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to wear. He doesn't know how to adapt to the society. The language problem. She's 50-50 into language. She's Ada, Urdu, Gujarati, Bangala, whatever. And mostly it's English, right? And he doesn't know a piece of English. There's a
But that's what
barrier.
I'm saying. So now there's going to be thing, and she's going to get fed up. So she's not going to be into the marriage,
Of
right?
course.
So now what happens is, now let's say, they ask for a divorce. He's like, yo, it's not working, right? Because there's a big culture clash. It's not working. And now the father comes in. He goes, yo, if you give talaq or you get divorce, then hamara koi rishta nahi. There's no rishta between me and you. Is that right from a parent's side?
No, it's not.
You're putting more pressure now. First, you pressured the sister to get married.
It went downhill right there,
Yeah.
right? When it just went back home, and we've seen it multiple times.
Because the father's caring about his reputation or how
Exactly.
people are perceiving him.
Ego.
Right? Yep.
It's ego. It's the man. It's the gharoor. It's,
So
all of
then
this.
people ask him, is like, oh, I heard your daughter got divorced. So it's like, I have no daughter.
No.
Right?
Oh, wow. Wow. Now, there's another thing that came up. We were talking about it before the show, is that there's a person that's married, obviously unanimous, who's married, and they got their nikah done 6 years. They haven't consummated the marriage. It's been 6 years. We were talking to Imam Saab as well and all of this. And it's been 6 years, and they haven't consummated. But, that one side of the family is just completely, like, cuckoo. Meaning they're asking them for money. They're not trying to come. They're like, yo, come here, move here. Again, back home mentality. One is back home, and the other one is obviously here in the West. And they say, send money back home. Oh, I might move here. I might move there. You got to come with me. You'll sponsor me, because they want to get a green card or they want to get citizenship. Now, what's happening is 6 years now, there's no consummation of the marriage. And
But why isn't he here though? Why isn't he? Or is the person?
I'm studying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm flan. There's always excuses that come up, and then
6 years?
she's studying and they're this, whatever. But the problem is, why did you even do that? First of all, consummating the marriage, you haven't done it in 6 years. Yo,
There should be no nikah.
There's no nikah.
There's no marriage.
There's no nikah. So now if they're asking for a divorce, now what do we say to the family? There's 6 years, your marriage is not even there, your nikah is not even accepted now. So now what do we do? This is a genuine concern.
I don't understand what the concern is. Like, does nikah even occur? Like,
No, nikah happened, but it's 6 years has been gone. They
I
haven't
think when we were
consummated.
speaking about it earlier, it's that can the woman ask for talaq from Islamic Sharia
Yeah.
terms? She can't, right? And now if she requests it from her husband, husband is saying no.
No. Husband saying no. I don't want to give it.
oh
But it's been 6 years and they haven't consummated the marriage.
no, the khulla, meaning the woman's divorce, is permissible even if it's even 3 months, 4 months,
Gee.
even
Gee.
if a man has not seen his wife, or I mean a legitimate reason. Now let's look at like the reasons now. Like, okay, is he gone for war for 6 years?
No,
like, you
no,
know,
no.
like we can understand. But,
There's
like,
obviously something brewing.
no, I mean it's bad. There's not going to be no barakah in the relationship. Like, you should just leave it. You should just. I don't know why they're clinging on to it still.
No, they're trying to get divorced, but he won't give. So
No,
the ruling is
you go to court.
no.
Yeah.
One's in the West,
Yeah.
one's in Pakistan. How could you go to court?
You gotta ask the
No,
sister
you
to
can
go to her.
Yeah, you can go
to
to
their
court.
mufti,
Yeah, and that's it.
get a fatwa,
Yeah.
And
or
that's
or something of some authority
Yeah,
to
And-
dissolve the marriage.
100%.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
haven't consummated the marriage. But
when I meant by court, like exactly what Bilal
Oh, I
said.
thought you meant go
No, like you ask the Hazrat, the first religious,
Mufti, yeah.
and then if not, then you talk to your MP and then see what you can do to get out of it. That's bad. The 6 years. Wow.
No, get out of that. Get out of that
La
situation.
hawla wala quwwata.
As I
So
was saying earlier, it's just a huge red flag.
yeah, big red flag. Why? Like, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, I think there's some kala jadoo and black magic involved and all of these things. Like, it's just messed up, right? So at the end of the day, now from the brother side, right? So we're talking about the sisters, we're giving them and whatnot. Brothers are prolonging their marriages. You know, they've graduated.
Brothers are sneaky, man. Brothers
they've
are
graduated-
bad,
they
man. You
graduated
think we
6
don't
years
know?
ago.
Yeah, your brothers are bad, man. They're delaying.
We
the
found
situation.
Rishtas for them.
Yeah, brothers are bad. I know.
Still saying no.
Still saying no.
Wallah, like,
Even now, right now, they're saying no too.
there's, when
Galavich
when I got married, right? When I was getting married, my parents told me right away, Aamer, you want to get married? I said, gee, I'm getting married to whoever. He goes, whoever. And he goes, you have no desires to whom, whatever. I go, no. And I got married. But now what I see, like when people are delaying, right? Like, come out in the open
and just
say
it.
it. Like,
Just say it.
just say it. Hey, do you like someone? Like, just say that, man. You know what is making you worse? Your age is getting longer. Okay? Your health. Okay? Look at this. And thirdly, it's gonna cause conflicts in the future. Believe me, it's hard to maybe say it or maybe you're shy, but this is also a sign of modesty too. Look, it's respect too, right? You can't go up to your dad and be like, Dad, I like someone. Dad's gonna be like, thought you were a Hafiz al-Quran, doof, and then slap him in his face. But then he's gonna be like, what do we say? But it's okay. It's a mentality, right? Just be like, yes, Dad, I am a Hafiz al-Quran.
I'm doing it the right way.
Yeah, but I'm doing it the right way.
Gee.
Right? It's a mentality, and that
We're not going a shot at anybody, but truthfully, but I want to turn that same conversation, but onto the other side.
Yeah.
Guys are obviously mistreating our sisters as well.
And also, guys, I'm going to tell you this on air. I don't care. I never care what you say because I'm going to say the truth. Guys are bad, man. Guys are bad. You guys are, right now in our society, you guys are like, oh, man.
Because what's happening now is that because we live in the West
As
and
a
everything is
womanizers,
open.
oh my God.
Everything is open. You work with people, you go to school with people, etc. You build a relationship, things happen, etc. And the guys now, what's the word I'm looking for? Is they lead them on. They lead the sisters on. The sisters think it's everything, and then they do their minder, and then they leave the sister.
Oh.
They take everything from them. Meaning that the sisters, women are different than men, so they put their heart and soul
Emotionally,
into it, right? They put their heart and soul, and then they believe, right? they believe into it, and they believe into this guy. He leads them on, and he gets what he wants from her, or gets whatever. It could be money. It doesn't have to be sexual all the time, but money and whatever. He gets all of that, and then done. So where's the message to the guys, those jahil admis who take advantage of sisters as well?
It's rape. It's wallahi, it's in the Quran, it's zina. It's rape. The word term of zina means rape.
Sense of rape,
we need to stop doing that. Don't lead the women on. You know what I mean? Stop with the whole fashion and cars and glamorous lives, and stop with that, because it's fitra what the woman is attracted to. They know we have testosterone. We're gonna show, oh, look what we have. It's human nature. Look at even animals in the animal kingdom. The man is going to show his power. The lion is going to show his power. The animal is going to show his power. In us too, we have the same thing. We're going to show that we're the powerful one. We're going to win the woman. The poor woman, she's attracted to those things because that's the society, right? She's used to, okay, the man is a provider. The man he's good looking. He has a car. He has work. He has a job. He has got everything. She gets lured in, and the guy, he's just an evil and just does what he got to do, and he leaves. The men needs to get straightened out. Yeah. Stop doing it. Believe me, it's rape. It's zina.
And you don't know how much, like, with your intention,
torture.
Right?
You get so much torture. And torture to the woman, too. It's mental health. And what I said to you as well, that woman, back to what the sister is, please listen to me. It's that for you is so much harder. It's that one opportunity, that one chance. When that for chance, sure. I hope you know what I'm doing the ishara of, the indication. When that is gone, no one is going to take you in. And that's the same thing with the divorce. That's the same thing again. Oh, you're used. You're whatever. Don't do it. Don't give up on small certain things. Just like in Valentine's, don't get lured into these things. Yeah. Be a strong woman. The men are lowest of the lowest scums. I'm telling you it. But you be the biggest person.
Right.
For the sisters, if you're confused as to what their brother's doing, ask them two questions. What are we and where are we going? Right? That'll tell you his intentions.
Come to listen, people are going you like each other? Turn this car around. We're not going to the parking lot today, brother. We're going to my house and you're going to get introduced. Yeah. No, you guys, you got to be straight up, man. Like, stop with the parking lot. Let's just go straight into the house.
And for those brothers that are womanizers, if you're not ready to get married, occupy yourself with something else.
Allah, mashallah, good.
Yeah. Right? Find an education, get a job, occupy yourself with something else. Yeah. Get a hobby, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be, you know what, I got to have this fling. After this fling's over, I got to have another fling.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know what? And here's the more disgusting fact is that 90% of what we see, these men Islamically are educated, right? Some of them.
Can I just add something before you go there? I saw this nice post. His sister said, when you're catcalling, just because you say mashallah doesn't make it right.
Say that again?
When you're catcalling, right? Just because you say mashallah to the sister doesn't make it right.
You're using God in this, eh? Like, no, you can't. It's bad, right? It's very bad. No, I mean, there's a lot of pervs around. The guys, I told you, they're bad, man. The boys now, what I'm seeing and I'm noticing,
But see, here's the thing. There's Hafiz Quran. There's ulama who call themselves imams and sheikh and all of these things. We see it all over the time. We see it, Qadris and this and that. I saw, I don't remember, this is not even PG-13. I saw a thing where there's a Maulana back home and stuff. You see it all the time, right? There's Qadris, they have these things. The problem is that those people are attracted to these types of people. Oh, mashallah, this guy has a beard. Oh my God, he's knowledgeable. Oh my God, he reads the Quran so beautifully, this and that. And these men use that to lure people in, right? So what are we going to say to it goes both ways. Men, to stop it, like, you're on a mimbar, you have a dari, you're representing Islam, and you're using it in the wrong way. And then you have the sisters who get, and then they fall in for that trap. Here, come, let me, give you a private lesson or something like that.
For any of the guys and the Maulanas, and especially people in our caliber of work, you don't accept women friends when they come on social media. And, you know, that shouldn't happen. If you see a lot of women adding men, especially Molanas and Qadis and stuff, there's an issue right there. There's a red flag right there. Like these fashionable imams nowadays, or, you know, these people, the problem is that you start having a fan base of women already. Why are you doing that? And that's the problem. Like, when, you know, people should aware that, like, brother, why do you got like 10,000 women on your like Instagram?
No, I mean, people will follow, but that's fine. But you gotta like.
I'm talking about friends listens. I'm not huge on social media, so I don't know. Like, most of my friends, I'm highly active on Facebook, and I can explain to tell you, of the 4,000 friends I have, maybe of the women of them are my wife and the women that I know that are my family.
Yeah.
That's it, right? And if you have 3,000 women friends, there's a problem, right? And that should be, you know, you should raise for awareness, but you should confront the brother. Like, what are you doing? And if he's a person in a position, like an imam or something like that, you should hold him accountable. But like, what are you doing, man? Yeah. Zina. That's wallah, zina. It's bad.
We have
because zina comes with eyes too, right?
Eyes, anything, walking.
So it's bad.
You can.
Like, what are your intentions?
You can do zina with your eyes.
Of course.
You can do zina with your hands. You can do zina with. I'm sure, like
with your feet,
right?
Goes to the direction.
Yep. Anything that you use, you can do zina with.
Of course, it's bad. Like, these people should be held accountable before. Those are for those type of people. For the sisters, why are you getting lured in so much? There are women alima that you can go to. There are women for your, like, we're creating a center downstairs for the women. And we're gonna have a woman ustada that can lead the woman and help the women, because we're getting a lot of popularity and we're trying to get women back into Islam.
I guess that's the other thing too. And the encouragement is for the women to learn Islamic knowledge and sacred knowledge,
from
so you can bring
and from women.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not enough of them, right? There's not enough of them
an excuse,
and stuff.
Brother, man.
But there are people that have that parda with the women, meaning don't turn your camera on. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you're learning and whatever, and you set a tone in the beginning. Right, we've set that here with our sisters. We keep them separate. We keep, even though they're bacche, they're kids, we keep them separate. Even on our webinars and that we do when we're teaching madrasa, there's no camera. Like, we're trying to establish that as well, to give them izzat, because it's their treasures that need to be concealed for their
Just remembered
future.
Something is that the first of the people that will enter Jahannam are those who had their ilm, but they were hypocrites.
Of course.
Right. So if you have a brother standing on the minbar and saying, you know what, sisters should go outside with a parda, they should only go outside with their mahram, but behind closed doors, you're doing the opposite. Right?
Fatawa Razviya, Allah Hazrat even said this regarding this, that once a imam loses his position, you should not take him back. He's done. He's out. He's lost his job. This is Imam al-Sunnah's fatwa. When a man has committed a crime like this, that he took advantage of, you know, the public, especially the sisters, kick him out. He shouldn't be back on the minbar ever again.
Right. It goes down to, you're standing there, you're in a position of authority, you're whatever, even you're Hafiz al-Quran, you're standing on a musalla, you're doing, all of these things matter. So, but when it comes down to it, we got to be more God-fearing. We have to be more God-fearing. You have to say, you're going to be answering for this stuff. Because we always think, right? Like, whatever we do, that's it. You know, Allah will forgive my sins. Allah will do this. Oh, I'm a Hafiz al-Quran, Allah will forgive my sins. Or I'm an alim, Allah will forgive my sins. I'll go to Hajj, or I'll go to Umrah and I'll forgive my sins. Listen, you can go 1,000 times to Hajj. It doesn't make a difference. If your heart is not clean and your tawajjuh is not towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it's not going to matter.
To speak to that, so if you have the intention of committing something wrong or doing something wrong, you also have the intention of doing tawbah, but your third intention is, I'm going to do it again and then do tawbah again, your tawbah isn't accepted.
No, 100%.
Right? Because you're making that intention, okay, I'm going to do this so I can forgive my sins, but I'm going to commit sins later on again. That same sin. Your tawbah, it's like counterproductive.
You know what? At the end of the day, it comes down to, we just got to give more knowledge. We got to give more knowledge. We got to hold, we got to bring people to the mosque. The sacred knowledge has to be passed on. We got to be there for our youngsters too, to kind of groom them to that level, right? And bring them in, and we got to care for our future generations. It's not just about, I want my following, I want people to like us, I wanted to do that. It can't be about us. It has to be about the bigger picture, and it's the generation that we're trying to reach out to. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys for final remarks. Hafiz, I'll go towards you first, just the final message to the viewers, and then inshallah we will conclude.
For sisters, as soon as you see a red flag, stop. Right? There's a precedence for concern, or as soon as you see that red flag. And for brothers who are doing like, you know what, these flings or they're womanizers and stuff like that, find a hobby. Do something better with your life.
Right.
Right.
No, but if you, and to that point, before I turn it over to Jean Aamer Qadri Sahab, is what you do in your life, your kids are gonna do as well. And it's gonna happen. You trying to do all this and you think you're, a rude boy and whatever, and then you got girls and this and that, buddy, your kids are gonna do the exact same thing to you. And you're gonna do the same thing. And then what the other thing is, Allah might just say, okay, you want to do this to other people's daughters? Here's 5 of yours. Yeah, there's barakah in women having kids as daughters as kids, but eventually what's gonna happen is, guess what? Here you go, karma.
No, actually, let me just add one more thing before I give it to Pastor Mike. But for those brothers, is that would you do the same thing with your mother, or would you let someone do the same thing with your mother or your sister? Right? Would you let someone do that with a female that's close to you in your life?
No, but you would get prideful, right?
Right.
At the end of the day. No,
I don't have anything else to say. I think it was beautifully wrapped up by Bilal Bhai and yourself. Just want to give a couple of shout outs to end this up here. I'm really proud of the Sufi Council of Toronto, firstly, because when everyone's here, I want to tell them on air. Because our Imam is here as well, and the center is running so well. I'm so happy, and there's so much barakah. Shout out to Hafiz Luqman, the principal. I love this brother. I'm loving him every day because this brother is doing tremendous work. My brother Hafiz Yahya, behind the scenes all the time. This is because of him, and there's so much more. Obviously, Bilal Bhai is beside me. He's the one who organizes all our calendars and organization, and he organizes everything like that, and we're all up to date, and on the app and all that. That's because of him. Omar, who's in front of me, you brothers doing very well. Mohsen Bhai is not here today, but he's doing great work. He's bringing lots of sponsors and etc., and putting the word out for the Mecca Islamic Center and the podcast out there. Shout out to him. Big shout out to Sufi Council UK. My brothers are going to do work. I am going to tell this on air that they're going to surpass the Sufi Council of Toronto. The reason why is because they're younger than us. The more younger are more intelligent, and how the initiative that Salman Bhai and all of the other brothers, Huzaifa, Omar, and all the other brothers, and I apologize that I can't, I'm forgetting their names, Naeem, and the whole team, that they're young and they're going to be more talented than us. And watch out for these brothers. I'm telling you, they're going to take UK to a storm, and they're going to do a lot of community work. And alhamdulillah, we're going to do an annual Sunni conference there. And of course, Sufi Council of Africa, they're coming around, and you'll see the work soon in Ramadan. You will see a lot of appeals. You'll see a lot of work come through of Africa, and we would need your help, because this is why Sufi Council of Africa is going to be established, because we need to do a lot of welfare work. We need to help our Muslim Ummah who are suffering right now, and you can see where your money is going to go, and you'll see that, inshallah. So thank you very much for everyone.
MashaAllah. So that was Family Drama Part 2. Hopefully we shed some light on obviously some brewing topics in and around predominantly our sisters and marriage and what's in our family and what's happening. Listen, share this, right? Share it to your family. Sit down with your family. I know Brother Matin, I know he's watching because he watched the first one with his mom. We got to make khususi dua for their mom for their health. Allah give her a long, healthy life, inshallah. Ameen. But Brother Matin, I know he's watching because he's been messaging me. He takes this part because he's done so much. He lost his father. Allah give him a high rank in Jannah, inshallah. And his mother and stuff like that, and he's taking care. That man has sacrificed.
You never came back to give any gulab jamun and rasgullas back, man.
That brother,
what are you doing?
That brother has sacrificed so much for his mother. Wallah, I'm telling you. And that's what it means, right? Take care of your parents. Inshallah, you're going to reap the benefits.
Inshallah, no, he's going to see it in his son. Inshallah.
Yeah. He's going to see it in his son. Did you know that? Did he call you?
No, you didn't call me.
Okay, I don't-
Selfish. Man. That's what I said. But I knew, like, bring the gulab jamans to Whitby, brother. And we're waiting for you. And I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you, Matin. I know you were waiting for so long for this opportunity.
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, you're a father. Congratulations,
Mashallah.
brother.
And he's such a great mukhlis individual. But anyways, I just do want to mention that special shout out. And yes, whatever we talked about Sufi Council UK, Hafiz Salman Sallamahu, and Hafiz Asif, who always supports from Ilm City, and Sufi Council of Africa is going to be launched very, very soon, inshallah, with more details. So I just do want to thank Hafiz Bilal, Janab Aamer Qadri Saab, for coming on and shedding some light, a little bit more light on family issues and what's brewing up in our families. Hopefully it could be beneficial. Share it with your families. Sit down, build a relationship with your family, build a relationship with your parents. Don't be afraid. As long as you're following the Sharia, Allah will protect you and keep that protection amongst you and your family and build more muhabba between you and your loved ones, inshallah. So I do want to take this opportunity to, again, shout out to our sponsor for the month of March, IG Wealth Management, and especially Kamalhusain Rathod Sahab, where you can find him, 700-295, the Westmall in Etobicoke. He's a consultant. So for any of your tax purpose needs, investment needs, etc., reach out to brother Kamalhusain Rathod, and the address is there, 700-295, the Westmall in Etobicoke, office number 416-695-8600, extension 4206, and cell number 647-289-8786, and email kamalhusain.rathod@ig.ca, kamalhusain.rathod@ig.ca, and for all of your financial services needs and advice, etc., please do reach out to them, and we want to thank them for sponsoring Mic'd Up for the month of March. Allah bless their business and continue to elevate their business with obviously financial gains in the deen, dunya, and in the akhirah, inshallah. Lastly, Mic'd Up on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for future investments, future purposes, and continue to follow us on Instagram at Mic'd Up 416, inshallah. Next week, we will see you again. Just remember, for those who are watching in the Eastern Standard Time, clocks go forward tonight going into tomorrow, so there might be a time difference on our podcast for next week, and we have just this month, and then inshallah we're going to take a break. So season finale will be at the end of March, inshallah, and we're going to have a very good one for that, and we'll break for the month of Ramadan, and we got a lot of good things happening in the month of Ramadan. So tune in to Sufi Council of Toronto on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and Makkah Islamic Center on Instagram and Facebook. Continue to follow us, meccacenter.ca. Kindly donate whatever you can in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our own idara. We got a lot of good things happening, and you're going to see us obviously do some even better things in the very, very near future, involving the youth and the sisters, etc. So meccacenter.ca, whatever you can give in the way of Allah, Allah will bless you in this life and in the hereafter, inshallah. And we'll see you next week, Saturday, for our next episode, episode 15, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.